Welcome to Headline to Heartline. In palaces, the keys tell you who is being protected. It is January 16th, 2026, and Sarah Ferguson is still in the headlines for a reason that matters to the public. This week, a fresh report quoting an unnamed source says she and Andrew are facing a near-term deadline to leave Royal Lodge. And today, I want to explain why that specific claim, right now, carries real social weight. A lot of people are hoping for backlash from Sarah, a clear moment where she pushes back and draws a boundary. At the same time, she is still linked, in the public mind, to a roof that feels taxpayer-touched because Royal Lodge sits inside a system of royal property and protection that many people cannot separate from public privilege. When private lives are lived inside public frameworks, the public asks for answers, even when the paperwork is complicated, and even when the people involved insist their home life should be off-limits. That tension is why her moves still matter and why this story keeps returning. Now, back to what the new reporting actually says. The report published this week claims that Andrew and Sarah have to move out by January 25th, 2026. It also claims Sarah is not planning to move with Andrew to his next home, and that she is looking for a place of her own near Windsor, possibly leaning on family as a temporary landing spot while she searches. Other outlets have added details like removal activity seen at Royal Lodge, which has fueled the sense that this is not just talk. None of this has been fully confirmed in a detailed official statement, so the responsible way to hold it is simple. Multiple sources are describing a move as imminent, while the institution itself has kept public comment tight. Let's get the basics straight, because the names and titles are part of the story, and they have changed. In October 2025, Buckingham Palace announced that King Charles had initiated a formal process to remove Andrew's style, titles, and honors. Subsequent reporting, including mainstream outlets, has described the outcome as Andrew no longer being styled as Prince or Duke and being referred to going forward as Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, with some early confusion over whether the surname would be hyphenated. In parallel, reporting said Sarah would no longer use Duchess of York and would simply go by Sarah Ferguson. Different publications still slip into the old titles out of habit, but the broader direction has been clear in recent coverage. They are no longer being presented as a titled royal couple, even as their living arrangements have continued to keep them at the center of public attention. Royal Lodge is a large residence in Windsor Great Park, near Windsor Castle. Andrew has lived there since 2003 under a long lease connected to the Crown Estate, a portfolio of land and property whose profits go to the public treasury. Over the years, reporting has described the rent as nominal and the arrangement as involving a significant upfront payment and major renovation responsibilities. Even if the lease is private in a legal sense, the public reaction has never been purely about contract terms. It has been about what feels fair and what feels like a protected corner of life that ordinary people would never have access to. If you value this kind of careful, calm reporting, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So where is Andrew said to be going? Several reports say he is expected to relocate to the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, where the king has private property, and that a house known as Marsh Farm is being prepared as a longer-term residence. Because renovation and security work are reportedly underway, some coverage suggests he may spend time in temporary accommodation on the estate first. Again, this is unnamed source reporting, so it should be treated as a developing picture rather than a settled fact. Now, let's talk about why the public stays emotionally invested, because this is not just a moving story. It is a question people feel in everyday life. Who pays and who gets to decide? Critics argue that when a prime property linked to public assets is occupied under unusually favorable terms, the country loses value that could have flown back to public finances. They also point to the broader reality that security decisions for prominent royal-adjacent figures draw on state capacity and are rarely disclosed in detail, which leaves a lingering sense of paying without being told what the bill is. Defenders respond that lease terms and renovation commitments matter, that there may be legal and financial consequences to forcing a move, and that security and privacy concerns cannot be handled like an ordinary housing dispute. Underneath both sides is the same nerve: trust. People accept complexity when they believe the system is principled. They resist it when they believe the system protects insiders first. And then there's the Epstein impact, which in 2025 did not feel like old news because it continued to shape how every headline about Andrew, and by extension Sarah, landed. Andrew has denied wrongdoing and has not been charged with a crime, but his association with Epstein remains the reputational shadow that the monarchy cannot easily step out of. Renewed releases and renewed reporting in late 2025 put that association back into public focus. Some outlets emphasized documents and communications they said were connected to him, while others cautioned that interpretation and attribution can be disputed. What is not disputed is the social effect. The scandal remains a live test of the monarchy's promise of standards, restraint, and accountability. When reporting continued to place Andrew and Sarah at Royal Lodge into 2026, it made the address feel like a symbol, not just an address. Sarah sits in a complicated place here. She is not the accused party in the controversy that drove Andrew out of public duties, but she has remained closely linked through family life and shared history, and that link affects how the public reads her choices. Some see loyalty and steadiness, others see comfort without consequences. If she does move out now, as this week's reporting suggests, many will see it as overdue independence and clearer boundaries. Others will see it as a tactical repositioning that arrives only because pressure has finally become unavoidable. Either way, it changes the temperature. They are still there, and they are finally leaving are not the same headline, and they do not carry the same moral meaning for people watching from the outside. So here is what I will leave you with on January 16, 2026. If Sarah Ferguson is about to leave Royal Lodge, as the newest unnamed source reporting claims, it matters because it touches the one thing the monarchy cannot ask people to ignore: legitimacy in ordinary eyes. Many are still waiting for backlash from her, a real pushback that feels like self-respect rather than mere survival. And many are also asking the simpler question that refuses to go away: why should anyone connected to this controversy still be sheltered under arrangements the public cannot fully separate from the public purse? As long as Sarah is linked to a roof that feels sponsored by British taxpayers, her moves will matter, and the public will keep listening for the sound of accountability. Thank you for spending this time with me, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel and like the video before you go. And goodbye. In royal life, the key that opens the door also decides how loudly the footsteps echo when it finally closes.